I did Bert's like arena tour, and we were in St. Louis. Saifa was like, "What do you want me to say when I bring you up?" And I was like, "Oh, just tell him I'm Tom Segura." He was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." They got so loud. I was like, "This might have been a horrible mistake."
How'd the set go?
Pretty good, honestly. Some of them were genuinely upset because there was like 15,000 people.
Was Tom there?
No.
And what did Bert think?
I don't even know if he knows I did it.
This is my dear friend, Shane Torres. Shane is an extremely funny stand-up comedian. He's a regular at the Comedy Cellar here in New York City, as well as traveling on the road with Bert Kreischer. He's amazing. He's performed in arenas all over the country. And today we're in the tent, just goofing off, having a laugh. That's what I needed today. Just an hour and a half of just two comics busting balls. So, without further ado, enjoy Shane Torres. Welcome to camp.
I mean, you are Mexican, and I think that's important.
Yeah, I'm also Irish immigrant mom, so yeah. So very like,
you got a chip on your shoulder, and you're willing to work hard.
Yeah, and I shove it all down. And I am wildly emotional in certain outbursts. And then
What do you think is the most prevalent emotion that bubbles up? Is it anger? Is it depression? Is it like angst?
I would say I oscillate a lot. Like it change. Like in moments, sometimes I am. I know it is not good to like hold anger, so I don't know, but like I have it a lot of the time, you know, like, and like, and I don't like search out conflict, so I'm trying to like I have this thing, but I'm like I'm just kind of ready to unload this in some way, and I want it to be in a good way, so I don't want to be a person who freaks out because someone walks in front of him on the crosswalk, you know, I don't want that shit. But I have like little moments where I think about it, you know, like when I'm like, I'll just shove this bitch in front of this train. Yeah,
I'll have that intrusive thought. I ride my bike over the Williamsburg Bridge often, and if someone's going slow, I will kind of just be like, what if I just went next to them and just stiff armed them?
Yeah,
as fast as
I do that.
And then I go, Mark, you gotta just pull it together a little bit, buddy. And then you just ride past them.
And like, this is not what you're mad, and this is not what you're mad about. Yeah. Like that's what I have to. That's what I have to tell myself a lot.
Yeah, I just bombed a show. That's why I want to shove this guy.
Yeah. He didn't laugh.
Now, if he was at the show, then it's justified.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think you'd probably get away with it in a legal sense.
But it's wild.
Do you? So it's like rage and depression. Joy is not like nearly enough, I think. And I think a lot of it happens for me between like the peaks and valleys of things going well and not going well. Yeah, like our big things. Like if something good happens, I'm just like, well, we're on our way down now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I have a lot of dread.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, we're overdue for something terrible.
Yes. Oh, and I think about that in a worldly sense. Like I remember before the pandemic, I was like, there hasn't been like an awful global event in a while.
What? Stop thinking these things. No, you're the reason this happened.
What
the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, everybody got me to think for that.
You're clairvoyant. What the hell?
Like all those restaurants shutting down was my fault.
Yeah. No, that's I get that though.
I just dread it, but I know it comes from dread.
Yeah. And growing up in Fort Worth, your parents were together?
Till I was like 12.
Okay, cool.
Around 12, maybe 13, something like that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but then my folks were like, my dad was out for a while. Like he just didn't know how to do it. You know, I think he's pretty ashamed.
How many kids did he have?
We have 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my dad.
You're the youngest?
Middle. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
How many kids do you come from?
My parents had 7 kids.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude.
What number are you?
I'm 6 of 7. So
Really?
I have one younger sister.
And how much younger is she?
She's like 3 years. We're all like 3 years apart.
From top to bottom?
Basically, yeah.
So your older brother or sister is like 18 years older than your youngest one?
Damn near. Yeah. I mean, look at you doing math, dude.
Do they know? I always think about this when people have like long gaps between siblings and do they know each other? Like, are they like, you know what I mean? Like, do they know? Are they a part of each other's lives?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like,
because it seems like the distance is like your brother, by the time that person starts speaking at 6, your brother or sister is like 24.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think in the early years, you kind of like
speaking at 6. You can tell I've spent no time around children.
No, you're autistic. That's what, if you start speaking at 6, there's a latent diagnosis.
And I just
coming
say colors. I'm like blue. I like blue. Yeah.
No, it's an interesting thing when you have siblings that are kind of spaced out like that. My mom, I'm pretty sure, had kids in like 4 different decades. I think my brother was born in like 79 or 80. And then my youngest sister was born in 2000. Like,
Wild.
That's crazy. So, I mean, when you're growing up, you're kind of like around.
Is your family religious?
Yeah, deeply.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Is that
my parents are very Catholic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom specifically is like. Oh,
so you were confirmed in first all that stuff.
What are you talking about, dude? Simon of Cyrene is my confirmation saint.
Jesus, Mary, and
come on.
Simon was my dad's name.
Exactly. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. They're very important.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, dude. He's the one that helped Jesus carry the cross.
Yeah.
When he was going to Golgotha. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You took a good lump in this stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I'm guilty to this day. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt this amazing program, but I need a little bit of help. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably see our subscriber number right down here. And if you're able to, it would mean the world if you could subscribe. That is the best way to support this show, because when you subscribe, I'm able to show it to potential guests or to different brands and stuff like that. And it really, really helps grow the show, get us cooler guests, have cooler conversations, and it helps everything so much. So if you don't mind, thank you so much. Let's get back to it.
Are you still practicing Catholic?
I would say in the New York sense, I'm probably the most Catholic person you've ever met.
Okay.
In New York.
Yeah.
In like amongst Catholic people, I'm not a great Catholic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you still like...
I got married at 23.
Yeah, I'm not, and this is no judgment, but you still subscribe to it? Like...
It's an interesting thing. I go back and forth on this, to be completely frank with you, because I benefited a lot from the structure of the Catholic Church. I quite enjoyed it, actually.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of people that grow up.
Like, you mean like in a practical sense?
Yeah.
Like, can you give me an example?
The ritual of going to church and like going to mass. My family would do dinner after every mass. I really liked the doctrine of the church. Like, I liked like how much structure there was to go with the Bible. That like you had like thousands and thousands of years of like church doctrine that you could read through. Like I could look at like Thomas Aquinas and like go through the Summa and be like, oh, this is interesting. Or like the Catechism and be like, this is what Catholic scholars believe about the world. Just from like a philosophical sense, it brought me a lot of comfort.
Okay.
So I really liked that I found in like other, like I went to a Protestant school for most of like my middle and high school.
Yeah.
And Protestantism to me just kind of like was much more like relationship based.
Yeah.
It was like Jesus is your buddy and he exists in your heart or kind of in the sky and you just kind of got to talk to him and everything will be good, which is important, I think, for like Christians in general. But it kind of lacked like the structure. I was like, hey, what do we believe about this? And people would be like, we don't know. Look at your personal relationship. I'd be like, what?
Okay, that's what
Protestants I kind of felt like.
Yeah,
whereas
like your
Catholics,
experience at that
Catholics were
school.
like, look, this is what it is.
Yeah.
So I like the
that
structure.
was like my big issue with Catholicism.
Was the structure.
Well, like just like this is that you put your faith in people, right?
Yeah.
You know, like which I think is valuable, but it doesn't necessarily encourage constructive thought and like I would ask questions like, well, what was before God?
Yeah.
You know, like if your line is that they created everything, you know. And I remember my mom was just like, God will always be and always was, and I was like, well,
doesn't
kind of
really
out.
answer it.
Yeah,
That's
the kind of shit
thing.
I can't.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not even against it. I just
I have questions. I'm curious.
yeah. And then like as you get older, you're like, well, that's why it's called faith. Like,
But like
I mean, to me, that's why what you get away with when you say like, that's how I can swallow people.
Hey, yo. Pause.
Believing in this shit without like having an answer for something when I raise a good point. Like,
Sure.
and that's like, and that's good. Mm-hmm. But I need like, I'd rather have like a pragmatic approach to my life.
Of course.
Yeah.
So that was the thing growing up. I liked it for those reasons. And I also had good like mentors I found. Like Father Ben was a priest that I was like close with in high school. That was just like a great dude and just like a young guy that was like passionate and like truly thoughtful.
Yeah.
And didn't diddle me. So that's a plus.
It's good.
Like amongst all those
You're
things.
non-diddled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my mom is just like genius woman that like just is super thoughtful and philosophical. So like I would ask questions like that, like, hey, why can't gay people get married? And she would have some answer or be like, hey, I don't really know.
Yeah.
And
see, that's what I like.
there was
and
an openness.
That would have been more fine for me, I think.
Yeah.
Like to just be like, yeah, I'm not really with that part of it's okay to disagree with some of this shit would have been a very nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I've gotten older, I've become more accepting that I think a lot of religions are trying and attempting to explain what they believe God to be, what they believe is the source. And so I believe that fundamentally all religions that have sustained for a long time whose fruits seem to be good. You know what I mean? Like Islam has existed for a couple thousand years, and generally Muslims I find to be like really great people that are very devout and like focused. And
In my experience with
exactly.
I don't think I ever met a Muslim person until like I moved to New York.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe like
I didn't meet Muslims till
or I didn't
college.
meet many of them. Yeah,
And so meeting Muslim people, and they're like, oh yeah, we do this with our food, and we pray this much, and we love Allah, and this is what our life is. And I was like, huh, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Like, so I've recognized that there's a lot more similarities.
you saw the parallels in it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I became much less dogmatic, but I still I'm really fond of the church. Like I really like, Catholicism.
Yeah. Do you still go? Like, will you like?
as
I mean, are
frequently.
you like a New York Catholic in the sense you'll go like Ash Wednesday? Like that was kind of yeah.
Then my wife and I, like, if we're free on Sunday, then I'm like, great. But like if I'm flying back from a show in Columbus and we land at 5 and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you don't really want to go to a night service.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
Yeah.
and maybe I should. And actually, no, I'm not going to say I should. I feel like that puts like a shame component to it. But I could.
It seems to me like you're doing a pretty good interpretation of it, how it fits with your life.
I guess so. Like I never cared about gay people. I was like, the church is like hung up about like gay, whatever. I'm like,
I think they're moving away from that a little bit lately. It seems.
well, yeah, Papa Francisco's.
He's very like, well, he's trying to get the numbers back up. I think. I think Catholicism's having a few.
Yeah. And obviously
having a few of. Like you got to start. You're kind of a celebrity. If you start going back, you and Wahlberg together could really pump the numbers.
If he wants to cut me in on Wahlburgers,
what if you got sainthood?
Well, that's the thing. If I go to heaven, then I would be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be canonized, but technically, all the people in heaven are saints.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
No. no. It kind of honestly makes it seem less good to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But maybe, nobody really knows the numbers in heaven. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe everyone goes. Inshallah. Inshallah. I don't know.
Inshallah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot. You never met Muslims until you came to New York.
Yeah.
That's like God willing in Arabic.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
That's nice.
Muslims like to say it. It's a great term.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why more people don't say it. I say it all the time.
I say God will. Yeah. No, I don't.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. You're just like you bring it into your own vernacular.
Come on, dude. I'm cookie cutter. I'm taking it from everyone.
Like, do you? So you just be like, somebody will be like, I hope the mozzarella sticks show up soon. And you'll be like, Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah, I think you're like,
I'm hammered at an Olive Garden. Inshallah. We need 2 more enchiladas.
Bread sticks.
We need more enchiladas and enchiladas.
That's it. I don't meet a lot of people anymore who like practice religion all the time. Like, or even a little like, not
it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like
even, and I don't mean just Christianity, but like, my Muslim friends or my Hindu friends who grew up in these constructs, like, not many of them are but I mean, maybe it's I meet everyone I know through comedy, so maybe that's the issue. But like
people that like hang out in shady bars late at night are typically not church.
They're not gonna make a 5 a.m. Latin mass.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I just don't. Yeah, and maybe that's just the way I live my life. But like, I don't like. But I guess when I go home, people like are always going to church and shit. None of my friends.
Were your parents pretty Catholic?
Yeah, like my mom was from Southern Ireland. Like, so
really?
Raised like my priest, her brother, my uncle, he was a priest. We had great aunts that were nuns. My dad was in the seminary for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he got kicked out.
Wait, why'd he get kicked out?
I think he was drinking, like, he got drunk and started drinking all this sacrament wine, and then it gets so much. And then like they said,
wait, can you elaborate on the story?
Yeah, well, what I know of it, like, it was a big black mark in my family's eye. Like, so my dad was Mexican, right? Like,
He still is Mexican, right?
No, well, I mean, they're both dead. They're all dead.
Why'd you bring that up, dude? It's
fine.
Why'd you ruin the mood of this podcast?
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah,
dude.
man. We're here in the tent. We're sharing. Yeah. But it was like, I think it was one of those things. If you're Mexican and you have a priest in the family, it's typically a big, like it's like having a doctor in the family or something. Yeah. So when he got kicked out of the seminary, like it was like a huge stain on him and my family. Like, like my grandmother wouldn't let him back in the house. Like my grandfather was like, he was like a not crazy, but like a very stoic World War II vet. So like this is like, you don't have the discipline to do this, and I like killed a bunch of krauts or whatever. Like like you can't just live in the light of Christ. Yeah.
But that seminary shit is kind of hard. That's like 12 years.
Yeah, and he did not last long, but I think he was ready to be out of there. Like, So we were raised, especially when we were younger, super Catholic. Like,
You got confirmed?
I did not. I got out right before. We stopped going. Like, they got divorced right before that kind of thing was going to start happening for me. And then, but my brother, like, we flew to Ireland so he could take his first communion over there from my uncle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like things like that. Like, very.
What did your parents do for work?
My mother was a nurse, night nurse, and I kind of don't know what my dad's job was. Like, he was like in sales, whatever that was, but he was always kind of half working. Like, he didn't. If I'm being candid, I think my dad was a fairly lazy person. But like, he had sales. He worked for a roofing company for one point where he would try and sell. Like, we had a big hailstorm in Texas in Tarrant County. Like, you go by people's houses and like try and like get them to buy new, like they know they need new roofs or whatever. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that for very well or very long. You know, like, he
you
had
notice
sales
that?
jobs.
Did you notice that as a kid?
I think it got more apparent the older I got, for sure. Like, that my mom was like their steady breadwinner. And I think I would notice that, like, I noticed it more and more as we got like older, I guess is what I would say. But like, because when we were younger, my dad would like coach our soccer teams and like, you know, like taught Sunday school and this kind of. But I think that part was easy for him, you know, like, or like when you're like an infant to like 10 or 11, you know, you're like a little more like pliable to them, and like you just do. You know, yeah.
And your dad's around. He's like coaching the team.
Yeah, he was doing that stuff for a bit, but he was never earning money. Like, you know, I think that was like, to some credit, I think that was a way he could contribute to us.
So were you guys like middle class growing up?
I would say middle class, lower middle class, like you know, like I heard the phrase "we can't afford it" a lot.
Yeah,
but I didn't grow up in a. I mean, we lost our house. I would say we were hand to mouth, like check to check.
Wow.
Very, very check to check.
How'd you lose your house? Well, like, just,
My dad didn't pay taxes on it for like. They told my mom, I paid the taxes.
That's important. You gotta do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then they were like, "No, you didn't."
That's wild.
Yeah.
So how old were you when that happened?
I was like 12, I think. Maybe.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was right when they split, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Got pretty close. Yeah,
Wow.
pretty quick thereafter. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then after they split, did you hang with your dad much, or were you just mostly with your mom?
I was always like closer to my mom in general, so like I hung with her. It was like we all stayed with her, and then he would kind of like I would say he had trouble getting off the mat. You know, like it wasn't the easiest thing in the world for him, and he got there. I think the way, like, you know, like a lot of people in my generation of young men is like, a lot of our dads are good guys, but not necessarily good men. You know, like my dad, I think people really liked him and he was a sweet person, but he could not meet responsibilities at a level like he had his commitments. Like, yeah, like he just couldn't do it. You know, like I don't think he learned, and I think part of it's because, like, you know, like you go in these certain directions. Like my grandfather was like, that's all he could do, but he didn't know how to nurture people. You know, like it's a mess. You know, like
Interesting. Yeah, your grandfather's like an
hyper provider,
executor.
Like, yeah,
but not very friendly or warm.
No, like when we were little, he like, you know, he loved us and he would tell us like, I love you, goodbye. You know, like, but he just didn't have that like motor. He was too busy trying to survive his life.
Yeah, of course. My grandfather was kind of the same way. He would like he only gave us handshakes.
Really?
Till the day he died. Like I would come over, I'd be 6 years old, be like, "Hey, granddad," and he'd go, "Nice to see you." I'd get a handshake, and it never even occurred to me as weird.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's like a thing.
I was like, "This is just what this guy
when you
does."
when you realize your some of your family dynamic is strange to other people.
Yeah,
you're like,
dude, I remember when my neighbor's grandpa died, and I was like, "Hey, you want to go play?" And he's like, "I can't, man." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "My granddad died." I was like, Why is that bad?
Does he have your baseball glove?
Yeah, I was like, I did not.
You really couldn't like.
I loved it, but I was just like, we weren't boys. Like he was just like a guy I knew.
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
like,
It was kind of like,
I would hang with. He was a nice guy.
and now my dad's all weird about it.
yeah. It was just weird. And
Yeah.
so like seeing this kid just like get so caught up about his grandpa, and I was like, what's sad about this?
Do you still know that person?
My buddy, my neighbor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he, do you think he was an emotional person? Like, I'm curious to
Yeah.
think if he was like always wired that way.
No, he was an emotional person, but he was also extremely close to his grandfather. His grandfather like taught him how to play basketball, took him fishing, and like they like really connected.
Yeah.
Whereas like me and my grandfather, we didn't.
Like if he knew your name, you'd be kind of like,
yeah. This is sick.
There's like seven of us. That's
Yeah.
fucking bananas.
And then there was kids on the other side of like their other kids. Yeah, it's like insane.
So you have like, are your other siblings, are they all married and like a lot of them married and have kids? So you're gonna have like a massive extended family.
Yeah. I already have 13 nieces and nephews.
My God.
Yeah, and we're adding more every year.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, well, it's also like you're young. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you plan to do that at some point or not.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to have kids.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought that part of your special was interesting. Like your kind of like turmoil with having children. I thought it was
I'm like,
interesting.
I'm in great distress over it.
Yeah,
all the time.
It's an interesting dilemma. I'm curious about that.
Well, I mean, I think, there's no one thing that makes me feel that way. There's like, obviously, but I think one of the things is for sure that how my father was a father, that like gives me trepidation for it.
Yeah,
of
course.
And how I've seen other men in that family be fathers. So, and that's not the only deterrent. Like, but I also I like my life a lot. Like I like, for the most part, like I like how I get to live, and so I have this little nephew who I like love very much, and it was his birthday yesterday. He's the best. And like, I kind of like will think about him sometimes in my, like I'll just get kind of like emotional. So, like he'll get me out of bed. The thought of him will get me out of bed some days. And be like, no, you can do this because he might need help going to college or something. I know him probably. This kid's not going to college.
How old is the kid?
He's 12 yesterday.
Yeah, he's not going to make it.
Yeah, he's basically handicapped. No, he's so sweet. No, he's such a good kid. He might go to college. He's actually doing pretty well in school, but like then everybody thinks about like super children and how like, you need to have money and like I'm just like, you gotta like get them into a good preschool for them to go to Harvard.
Isn't that
like
crazy?
That
Yeah,
shit,
you gotta start 'em off.
Like I was like, this kid,
Wait,
this kid just needs to be happy.
You
like,
didn't play Mozart in the womb?
Yeah,
like, your kid's
that
not
kind
gonna
of
make
shit
it.
freaks me out.
It's like, bro, how much planning do I need to do? I'm
and
trying to work on my.
and how much of an individual do they get to be, or do I mold them into something?
Yeah, exactly. And then if no matter how much you mold them, they might just still be a psycho.
Yes.
And you're like, damn it.
Yes, and I'm like, yeah, and I could. It kind of makes me sad and scares the shit out of me sometimes. Yeah. So like the idea of having one I'm supposed to love more than that is like, it's a little scary to me, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'd like, there's not that I've never thought about it or like, but it would have to be with a woman I'm very certain of this with.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's the tricky thing. Like before, for me at least, before I even thought about a kid, I was like, I got to find a mother of my children. Like who's a person I'm going to like raise my children with?
Yeah.
Like who is that?
That's what you thought of first?
Yeah, no question.
Wild.
Yeah. That is
like crazy to me.
Like one of the qualities.
I'm like, who's fun? Like I really am. Like I'm just like, I just want to be bored. Like, hey, like when you get into a part of it, like when you're dating someone, you're just in a relationship, you're like, this kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Nothing is necessarily wrong, but it's just quiet, and I'm like,
yeah,
I want to go hang out with Bill.
Yeah. I have so many friends who are like, yeah, this girl's crazy. Like she doesn't want to have kids. I really want to have kids. Our relationship's not going to work, but like. She has D cups, so like
yeah, it's crazy how superficial the male gaze is.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I was fortunate, just I think being raised around mostly women.
Yeah,
like my two oldest siblings are my brothers.
Okay,
and so I've become very close to them now that I've become like an adult. But through most of my adolescence, it was just the girls. And so
you were kind of raised as the only boy in some sense?
Type way, yeah, exactly. By the time I was born, my brother's already in college. My other brother was about to go to college.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm like 5, like the only people in the house are women. So I had kind of had a perspective on like women and like like what to look for. I guess I was not mystified by women in any way. I wasn't like, I was just fortunate that was kind of like my example. So when I was like meeting women in like high school into college,
you knew how to
like,
do it, kind of.
not even, I wouldn't say knew how. It's not like I possessed like a wisdom. I just like kind of based off what I was basically like, oh, would this girl like get along with my sisters? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a template of space. Like,
I had like a
like,
litmus.
well, this is what my experience with women is like in these women, in your siblings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like if I met a girl that was like very superficial or like really was like obsessed with like designer brands, I'd be like, well, that's kind of antithetical to how my family is. So that's kind of a red flag.
You were thinking about that early?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
This
is like my mom kind of like just imprinted a lot of like philosophy of life from like a young age.
Sounds
like,
smart.
But like growing up, her only goal for me forever was go to heaven. I was like, Mom, can I just be a doctor? She was like, I don't care what you do. Go to heaven.
That's fucking...
I was like, that's kind of a high bar.
Yeah. Well, it's also kind of like not in the Catholic sense. You know what I mean? Like...
But it's like...
It's kind of like, well, you only have one thing to do.
You gotta love Jesus. That's pretty easy. Check. You gotta like not be a dickhead a little bit. You know what I mean? You gotta live in a certain way.
Yeah. Kind of like...
Protestants will
That's
disagree
interesting that you're like... Because I had a ton of friends that were women. Like young... Like the... I think is...
You don't have to brag, dude.
No. Well, I don't like
than
they
me?
were friends. I wasn't getting laid. Notice I said friends and not girlfriends. But I like no sisters, and my mom was the only woman in the house, and she was from another country, so she wasn't very American.
She had an accent?
Very thick. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Can you do an Irish accent?
Fuck no, it's awful.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Like, she would go over and see her sisters, and because they still lived on the same plot of land that they grew up on, and she would come back and just like her accent would be even more, like I couldn't fucking understand it. Yeah, it was insane.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, that makes sense though. If you're raised around brothers, you're seeing your dad, and then your mother's like an Irish immigrant.
Yeah,
like that's gonna be pretty like gritty.
Yeah, well, like it was it's like very apparent. You know,
Yeah.
I remember people would say things like, your mother had, like when I was very young and I didn't even know what an accent was, my friends would be like, why does your mom talk like that? Like, because like, I never, it's a funny thing to say.
Does your mom have a disability? Like, why is she, what's going on?
I was just so weirded out by the idea of like, I never know, because your mother's voice is just your mother's voice. You never hear it any other way.
The mother tongue is like.
It's the first thing you ever hear.
Yeah.
You know, like even before you know what hearing is. Like
so in the womb, you're just hearing,
yeah, kind of, yeah. But I would kind of, it was so strange to me. Like, it was like, people would be like, oh, your mother talks funny. And I'd be like, to me that she would just, my mom's accent sounded like my friend Eddie's mom, who was from like West Texas. Like, they did just sounded the same to me.
Funny.
Yeah. And now, obviously, now when I think about it, like I'm older, I'm like, oh yeah, she sounds way different. But it was a strange, there was like a phenomenon in the sense of like, never noticing that, because it always is just the way it was.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Was your mom nurturing?
Very. Like, I think she was like, she was like, I mean, she was a nurse, you know, like, and that was kind of, so that was part of her nature, I think,
awesome.
like to give to people. Like,
do you feel like that impressed upon you like a good kind of template for like a woman that like you would be interested in being with?
Yeah, in some ways, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked, my mom was like a super hard, I like women who are like driven and like super hard work. Like if they have their own shit going on, I find that very attractive.
Of course.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's like, if I'm in a relationship and this is our careers and this is our relationship, it needs to be like pretty much like that. You know, like in the space, you know, and I think I'm sure that oscillates and like, you know, like goes up and down, but I don't like want the relationship to be the only thing I'm looking forward to. Like, and like, I think that for some women that I've dated, that has been the case.
Wait, what do you mean that the relationship is the only thing to look
like? Like that is there's not a lot of space for other stuff.
I see. You become their focus rather than like you plus a dream.
Everything. Yes,
or a passion.
yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I can't. The way I look at it is like I kind of been like pursuing this for a long time, comedy, and busting my fucking ass. So like in some ways, the wife or the girlfriend is the new girlfriend. Like, is the new thing.
Right.
Not, like, and not that it can't be as important, like life, but it just isn't. They need to understand, like, yeah. And I think,
Yeah. How long have you been doing stand-up for?
be 17 years this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you meet someone you've been dating for 4 months, and they're like, "Hey, I need you to, spend a weekend with me," or
And that's
spend 3
okay. That
weekends
shit's
in a row.
okay, but it is also like my last serious girlfriend. We were like getting in lots of spats about like being able to see each other when we could see each other and like spend like real time together.
Sure.
And I was just kind of like, hey, this is like my life, and this is like, like sometimes we're gonna make plans, and something good for my career comes up, I will have to cancel those plans. And I don't mean like going to do bonkers, you know what I mean? Like, but like I mean like something that is bigger than like a paycheck is going to be more important at this point in my life.
I get a
than
supporting role
going
in a
to
movie.
going to like away for the weekend. It just will be, like, and I don't think that's insane to think or act upon.
Yeah, I see.
And also, it's candid. Like, I'm not like surprised.
Yeah, you're being upfront about it.
Yeah, and I know sometimes I can use my like my honesty to avoid intimacy like that. Like I'm for sure, but I'm like I know in that instance I didn't think it was crazy. And
How did she react to it?
She like she wasn't hysterical or anything like that. Like she was just like, it was really hard for her to swallow though. I think I could tell it hurt her.
Yeah, of course. It's like, hey, you're going to be kind of second place.
Yeah,
for a while.
and that's fair for her, but but she understood it, I think.
Yeah. What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I need to tell you about one of my favorite new products in 2024. It's called Zippex. Yes. Zippex is a nicotine-infused toothpick. Now, if you know me, you know I like to indulge in a little bit of nicotine from time to time, okay? That's true. I don't like to smoke it. I don't like to vape it. Obviously, those things are very bad for your lungs. They're bad for your health. They make you feel bad when you work out. Not good. But nicotine on its own has been proven in scientific trials to actually improve neural communication, improve cognitive function, improve sharpness, improve mental clarity. Look it up. It's very, very interesting research. Anyway, back to Zippex. This is a nicotine-infused toothpick, okay? This is probably my new favorite way to get my little kick of nicotine. It's absolutely amazing, and it's great because you can use it anywhere at any time. It's very, very discreet. You just pop it in, and immediately you're getting whatever flavor you've purchased. This one right here, peppermint watermelon. Tastes amazing. They have 6 different flavors. They're all fabulous, and they all do the trick. Zippex is great for a couple reasons. If you're like me and you don't like to smoke or vape, Zippex is probably my favorite way to deliver that nicotine fix right to your body. It feels absolutely amazing. It looks cool. And also on top of that, I sometimes get food caught right in this little tooth right here. I always carry flossers with me. I always carry toothpicks with me. But now I have 2 in 1. Boom. After dinner, I'm getting a little fix and I'm getting food out of my teeth. I mean, that's a win-win right there. 2, it looks cool. It's discreet. While you're driving, you pop a Zippex in. You're feeling good. You're cleaning out your teeth. What do you want more than that? Secondly, if you're someone that maybe does smoke, maybe you do use vapes, maybe you do use cigarettes, you're going on a long flight. You're going to be stuck somewhere. You're going to be at a funeral. You're going to be at a wedding. You're going to be a baby shower for your baby. And you can't be ripping cigs at your own baby's baby shower. I mean, that looks insane. So what are you going to do? Pop a Zippex in. Now you're getting your nicotine fix and you're feeling good. Now, what if you're someone that doesn't even like nicotine? Zippex has something for you as well. They have B12 and caffeine-infused toothpicks if you're not a nicotine user or you're trying to get away from your nicotine habit. That's totally fine. Zippex has helped tens of thousands of customers in leading a way to a healthier lifestyle that, maybe they currently vape or use cigarettes, and they can probably help you too. Make your lungs happy and try Zippex nicotine toothpicks. Ditch the cigarettes, ditch the vape, get a nicotine-infused toothpicks, okay? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to zippextoothpicks.com today. Get 10% off your first order by using the code Gagnon, Gagnon, at checkout. Your lungs will be glad that you did. You must be 21 years old to order, and I just want to say this as a warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. Zip more, smoke less with Zippex nicotine toothpicks. Now let's get back to the show. I see why that would create a reservation a little bit for like kids.
Yeah.
Because it's like, am I going to put my kids second? Or am I going to like put my career second? But I've been working on this for so long.
Children are different, I think. When they come in, you need, like, I think that would change it quite a bit for me.
Would you be okay with the change, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be a thing. Like I think I would be like, this is more important. Like, yeah. I would have. I mean, I'm sure to have an adjustment period or some reservations about stuff, but like, I don't think children are like. I mean, that's something you can sign up for or not. You know, like like
just
like that was a grown woman that I said these things to. Like you know, like she can pull the parachute anytime she wants.
Right, she's independent in her own right.
Yeah. Like a kid, I do have a sense of obligation. You know, like, and so I'd imagine if I had children, it would probably be pretty intense feeling.
So that probably even raises the
to be like
the fear because it's like,
dude,
I gotta lock in.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, when do you think you'll have kids?
I don't know. I'm kind of open to it. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
yeah. Right now, I mean, like married a couple years. Like
you kind of going. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that stuff when I was your age. Like I was like, it's like when my friends would have kids, I'd be like, that's nuts, and I'd be like, no, that's right on schedule. Like that's
that's kind of the way I see it. Like
here's a mirror.
yeah. I don't know. The way I see it is like if I had a kid in the next like year or two, like I feel like I would be young enough to have energy to like do all the things I want to do, and then by the time my kid is like 15, 16, I'll still be going strong in comedy and in my career. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, you would be like, you're like even more fully an adult at that point. Like,
I feel like, And Patrick Bet-David, actually, are you familiar with him? He's like a YouTube personality.
No, I'm not.
He's like a entrepreneur guy. He's an interesting dude. He had something that I thought was poignant that my mom always kind of said in a different way, but I never really resonated until he said it. But he was basically like, everything I ever learned from my parents, I saw them doing. And there's a mentality I feel like where sometimes people say, once I have enough, then I'll have kids. Once I've achieved everything I need to do, then I'll like just be fully present and relax with my kids. And I think it sometimes can create a warped perception for your children because they're like, oh, what does your dad do? And they're like, nothing. He did it all. Whereas like for me, I saw my parents, like my parents rather, like they had their first kid when they were like 20, 21. And they had like 3 or 4 kids, and my dad was like painting like apartment buildings and like being like a handyman in an
busting
apartment.
his ass.
Like, it wasn't like a great situation, but he just figured out a way.
Kind of but you guys were kind of like check
alive.
to check.
I wasn't alive.
But like it was like leaner times financially.
Yeah, it was lean. It was lean. And then he figured out a way to like make it work and support the whole family. And like I grew up in a very kind of different environment than like my older siblings. So when I grew up, like we were great, upper middle class. Like he turned it around.
That's an interesting.
But I saw him like bust his ass. Like this guy worked so hard for us, and so for me, those lessons always stuck with me. And I was like, why would I not just like show my kids what like hard work looks like?
That's I'm
totally fine showing them like, oh yeah, dad's like working on the weekend today, and like you can come hang out and like learn and you know like once this podcast is over, you can come see me. But
I don't ever remember my dad doing that stuff, like being a super hard worker. Like I remember him sitting a lot. Like so I think that's why like kind of like I have a tendency to like I don't know, like I don't just sit around, but like if I can get in a rut and sit like and like kind of just stay there. So like one of my motivations is like don't be like your father in this way. Like you know, like go.
That's the good lesson, though.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
like,
but like it's inverted. You know, as opposed to like when I think of my mom and everything, she just like worked nights and then like would get like do all this other shit. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like when she died, we did Christmas the next year. We're like we're gonna do the things we did, like, and me and my brother were so fucking exhausted, like between like putting up Christmas shit and like. Food, like all this shit, and we were just looking at each other like tired, like, and I was like, "How the fuck did she even manage to do all this with 3 kids?" Like,
it's insane.
Blew my fucking mind. Yeah. Like I didn't. It was a pretty eye-opening thing for the amount of energy, like to let me know how much the amount of energy having children takes, you know, like in doing those things. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how she fucking did it.
The benefit I think like of having a lot of siblings that have kids is it kind of demystifies it, like. I became an uncle when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
So like I've just been around kids. Like
are you like good with kids? Like
I love kids. Yeah. They're awesome. Like I know how to talk to them. I know how to like play.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, the thing I think that people miss is they think they have to be different. I talk to children the way I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I talk to them as humans. They're just like underdeveloped. They don't know all the same words. Like I genuinely talk to them like just regular, and they respond like kids, but like they understand what we're saying.
Yeah, Maybe that, yeah, because I don't change, and I think that is the problem. I'm just I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like I don't like.
But then I like
I don't know how old you're supposed to be when you learn this, but I think you're behind. I do. Like,
you gotta check them a little bit. No,
yeah,
that's good. That's good.
I just don't like. But like, I mean, with my nephew, it's fun because like when they're little, when they're 2,
That's
you
nothing. When they're little, when they're like babies.
Well, like when they're like
I don't care about
learning to be
babies.
like fun, like they're just kind of enamored with everything.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I understand that because it's easier, but like when they're like 6 and they're like, why can't we? Like I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I was told. I'm like a bigger version of you right now. I was told don't go outside, so we're not going outside.
Your mom said you can't eat it.
Yeah, so you can't.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
it seems fine to
Didn't
me.
tell me I couldn't eat it.
Didn't say I couldn't eat it in front of you.
Yeah,
and taunt you the whole time.
But I have like I don't read children very well. Like, and I don't like hate them or anything. I don't like hate being around them, but I just don't. I'm not somebody who takes to them right away. Like, and I think part of it is because like sometimes when people like kids, I'm at their house or something and their kids are like walking up to me, I'm like, how much am I allowed to like play with this kid? Like it really is kind of like weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know how protective some people are over their kids. There's such a strange place there.
That's true. That's true. People are weird, but generally, here's the thing that I found: kids love this. Okay, anytime you meet a kid, do this immediately. So, hey, what's up, man? Can I get a high five? Put your hand out.
Yeah.
Move it away. You can do that for 3. The second you do that, the kid goes, "This is an adult. That's cool. I'm gonna play with this guy. He's awesome."
So if I do like the thumb trick, though, like
the thumb trick is a little tricky because sometimes they don't get it, and it also depends on your sleight of hand. But generally, you can miss a kid's high five pretty easily. All right, they're pretty slow. But you just put your hand out, boom, give me a high five, move it. Say too slow. Give it to me again. Move it. You're not even touching the kid.
Do they start crying and shit?
No, they love it. They're excited. They're like finally an adult that's willing to like be fun with me. It's not just another adult that's like being talking in a baby voice. I don't know. I remember
that's what I do. I'm like, I try that for a minute. I'm like, hello, and then like, I'm like, I don't, and then I get to like where I am right pretty quickly. I'm like, I'm like, you sound like a fucking asshole.
You want a beer? Go on.
Yeah, no. I'll try and find a little space with him. But
No, do that. I'm telling you, next time you see your nephew, take the hand away. Fake high five trick.
He's like too old now for that, I think, because he's like 11 or 12. Yeah, like he's like,
that's a little old.
Yeah, but like
that's a little old.
Yeah, he was real cute. Now he's like
going through puberty and shit.
Yeah. He's like a little like the showers are getting longer is what I'll say.
It's a weird thing because I always think about having kids, but I never think about having like teenagers. You know what I mean?
That seems fucking horrible.
That part is the thing I'm worried about.
Dude, if I had a teenage girl,
now what are we talking about?
Just the idea of it. When I look back, I'm still friends with some of the women I was friends with when I was in high school, and they were like pretty good girls for them. Like they were wild, but not evil. Yeah. And now I look back at it, and I'm like, they were under like, I want to say under assault, but like constantly just guys being all like very intense. Yeah. And now with the fucking phone, like,
it's wild. I mean,
like my niece is grown now, and she has probably sent like, like flirty text and DMs to guys, like shit that I would be like, it would freak me out. But like it's also completely human and fine. Yeah. But I held her as a fucking youngin.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I noticed that growing up with so many sisters, like they would just talk about how like mean guys were and how like creepy guys were, like just constantly growing up. Like, and it's not like they were anti-dude. Like,
but like they're like.
They'd be like, oh yeah, this guy like
15-year-old boy behavior is not okay, and like women understand. Yeah.
Like my sister would come home, be crying, be like, this guy I thought really liked me, and then like we hooked up, and then he never talked to me again.
Yeah,
and broke my heart, and I'm like, oh, that's bad to do.
Yes, because you love your sister.
Why would some guy do this to her? Like,
yeah,
it was like it blew my mind. Like, why would you hurt my sister? Like, and so from a young age, that's why like I never like hooked up through like high school. Like I was never like having,
like you were like if you were sleeping with someone, you were like actually like dating them.
Never even really did. Like I was like very cautious around like sex in general. And so when I met my wife, it was my girlfriend at the time, I was like 17, 18, and I was just like, you seem awesome. You seem like you're going to be like an amazing wife. You're super fun to hang out with. You're pretty, and you're going to be an amazing mom. So like,
were you in college or high school when you guys met?
High school.
Okay.
So I was like, you're just like the total package. Like there's no reason that I would need to meet someone else. So I was like, let's just ride this out till I graduate and see what happens. And then literally like my last semester I proposed of college.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like,
Did you guys go to college together too?
No, different high schools, different colleges.
Yeah. Where'd she go to school?
She went to UNF in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she went there for a little bit and then graduated from UCF in Orlando.
Okay.
Became a nurse and then became a midwife.
Oh, she's a nurse. That was my mom's field.
Really?
Yeah, she was a midwife too. Yeah.
She was a midwife?
Yeah, she did that as well. Yeah, like she was midwife and then, like RN. She midwifed RN and then she became a nurse practitioner too.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
the end of her career. Yeah.
Mostly in a hospital, or was she doing like home births?
She did home births when she was very young, but like she nursed in Europe for a little bit too.
Oh,
I
cool.
think. So I think she was also like, if I remember correctly, she worked for one family where she nannied, and was also, because she had like medical expertise, like she helped with a birth and like that kind of. So, and she was a midwife. She did some hospital stuff too, I'm sure. But then she always was in labor and delivery and obstetrics.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Were you born at home?
No.
Okay.
I was born at Harris Medical. Yeah, that's the hospital. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Were you good at school?
No, I was not academic at all.
Really? Did
no.
you like to read?
Yes. Yeah, I did. But I also I go through gaps with reading. Like I sometimes I'm pretty voracious and then like I'll just be like I can't. It takes a little more energy to read, but I know it's better for my brain. It's like exercise for me. Like I am better and clearer and think better when I'm reading a lot. And like I can even tell like in my act when like, cause that's where I put a lot of my thoughts, like how much stronger it gets. And it's because I've been like, feeding my brain good things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because we got to talk about your amazing dick game. Yes, you right now, listen to my voice, my deep, soothing voice. You have an amazing dick game. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you know someone with an amazing dick game. Maybe you got a boyfriend. Who knows? But if you have an amazing dick game, there's a way that you can make it better. And that's with the good people over at Bluechew. Mm-hmm. Bluechew is an amazing service that basically delivers a chewable tablet that has the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, all that stuff, but this is the chew. It's at a fraction of a cost, and it's never been easier to get your hands on the greatest dick game of your life. Mm-hmm. Never been easier. I'm telling you. You can go to bluechew.com and you can submit all your information to a licensed person, a legit person that will then mail you a discreet, very unassuming, but very, very powerful package. You know what I'm talking about? The powerful package to your home. That's how easy it is. You don't got to go talk to a doctor and be like, yeah, I want, nope, easy. You got to just go on the internet, bluechew.com. I want to get the best dick given of my life. And that's how you do it. Easy as that. And for the listeners of this show, of this program, you are going to get free first month of Bluechew. Mm-hmm. You're going to be getting Bluechew for free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. That's a cup of coffee. Black to be delivering that BBC. You know what I'm saying? That's bluechew.com, BLUECHEW.com. Use the promo code Gagnon, GAGNON, and receive your first month for free. That's bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And thank you so much, Bluechew. I'm telling you, man, check out this product. Even if you're one of these people that's like, I don't know, I don't really need it. What are you talking about? It could be better. It can always be better. Let's say you're in the 1%, you're about to be in the 0.01% with Bluechew. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Did people from your hometown ever give you shit for like trying to pursue a dream?
Not to my face. Like I know like some people would say shit, like they'd be like they were talking shit about, it's like I could give a fuck. These losers can stay in this fucking like, yeah. But I know like some people who are like my friends would be like, that's fucking never gonna work out. Like like would say shit like that to other friends and be like, well, we'll see, motherfucker. Like I know it's not gonna work out for me is like staying at my parents' house.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah. And then some people like, I think everyone gets a little shit talked about them, especially in our field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you don't. I think it's still happened. You know, I think like even though I'm still like pursuing and doing well, I think amongst my peers in comedy, some people, you know, maybe like he's doing great or he's not doing great. You know, like or they say things. So I think it always happens because you're pursuing something that is so. It can be very here and gone, but it's also very malleable. So like when it's in your hands and you have things going, it's in your moment to shape it. You know, like so when you have momentum and stuff, I think that's the important thing to think about when you're like still running, because this is like constantly running down a dream. You know, like we get access and we do better and better and things go better and better and you move in better directions and you like are further along than you ever think you were going to be. So when you're pursuing these dreams, while I'm not good at appreciating the moment, I do recognize that it is valuable. Like that, what I have is valuable, and how I turn it in, what I turn it into next, is it's very important.
Yeah,
I'm not good at enjoying it, but I do recognize the value of the moment.
Yeah. When do you think you'll be like settled? Do you think there will ever be a thing, or do you think the goalpost always moves? Do you think about that?
I have an idea of what it looks like. I don't like, you know, there's not like a number or an age attached to it, really. Like
a thing or anything like that.
But I have an idea of what it looks. It definitely looks more like I can do things on my terms when I want them, as opposed to now when like opportunities arise, I have to go and like do it. Yeah, that's what I think. What about you? Do you see yourself slowing? I mean, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself slowing up, or do you enjoy the moments as they come in?
I try my best to enjoy them. I spend a lot of time like focusing on being able to enjoy them. I got pretty lucky just in general, like with all of this. So I spend more time kind of just like being grateful for the luck.
Yeah.
I spent a little bit of time being like fearful and kind of like I guess like feeling like an imposter for a while. And then I kind of just turned that imposter feeling into just gratitude, just being like, "This is so cool."
Yeah,
like I felt almost guilt for being lucky, rather
because you've had kind of like
just like
I don't really know your point of acceleration. Like
I was doing stand up in like right in college, right when I graduated high school.
Okay,
and started like right away, and just like kind of found like mild success like in my little scene in Orlando.
Okay,
and, like, getting booked regularly and having like really good sets, and like I was really fond of stand up growing up. Like my dad would play it nonstop in the house. Like I was just like from a young age, like at the age of like 14 or 15,
you were getting a lot of comedy in your brain.
I was just like, I'm gonna do stand up in my life.
Yeah.
Like by a young age. And so like by the time I was like 18, I was doing it. And then by the time I was like 19, 20, it was like going pretty good. Like I was like getting booked. I was featuring. Like I was like, had like 25 minutes that was like good. Like I felt good. And then right by the time I graduated high school, I met up with Andrew Schultz. So I hosted for him in Orlando, and then we went to IHOP until 5 a.m. And
you just kind of became like, you guys just hit it off and you go in the right space.
Yeah.
That's not like, but you've been doing stand-up for 8 years, 9 years?
About, yeah.
Yeah, that's not that crazy. Like it's just, you just started very young. You know, like in the length of time, I mean, like you're coming up on a decade already. You know, like it's not, I don't think that's,
and some of those.
I mean, you're fortunate to have started young and found some good success young, especially not starting in New York or LA.
Sure.
You know, but that's not crazy. You're just young. Like, you know, it's not like you're 2 years in and you're doing all these massive rooms just because some guy likes you. You know, like there's like you have a resume.
Yeah, a little bit, but still, I'm like 27 and I'm doing Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Like. Yeah, it's crazy. You know
I mean, doing those big rooms is like insane. You know, like I do them with Bert, like, you know, the same kind of things.
And then getting paid to do it. Like, I genuinely thought,
if you're paying your rent telling jokes,
it's insanity.
It is banana. Like, I have, that's what I do tell myself, and I'm like, I can always appreciate that.
Especially from my town. Like, Orlando is like, it's not a bad place, but like, I just didn't know anyone that did anything interesting.
Yeah, same thing in Fort Worth.
Everyone had a regular job, which is cool, but like, everyone like sold insurance. They like worked at a construction job. Like
they had a gig that was like a 9 to like
my wealthy friends, like their parents maybe were like doctors or something, but like it was all jobs that you'd heard of.
For sure.
I never met someone that was like a musician.
No, I didn't.
I never knew anyone that was in a band.
I didn't either. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I wanted to pursue those things from the moment I found like art. Yeah, like.
But you were drawn to art from a young age.
Yeah,
like,
I always
all
liked
types of
music.
things.
Always liked music. Loved comedy. I read a lot.
Do you think people underestimate you, like in terms of like sophistication?
I don't know if they underestimate me or they're just incredibly accurate. I don't know, man. I think. Do you ask that because you think I have like an underdog kind of tone to me?
Both, I think.
And I'm taking no offense when you say this. Yeah.
I think both. One, you are just based off listening to like podcasts you had done. Like I'd seen your stand up and I'd seen you around New York.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's obviously really funny, but I didn't realize how much depth there was. I feel like to you as a human until I started listening to your pods and like even just this conversation now.
Yeah.
I was like, there's both like a deep-seated like interest in like art and like reading and like there's an awareness about the world and like I feel like you're like more in touch with things than I think maybe like people would get from like your stand-up because your stand-up energy is just like so fun and like silly.
Thank you.
And then also I think there is like a little bit of like a motivation underneath all of it where you're like,
for sure that
I want to prove people wrong.
Yeah, I do feel like that's part of me. And it gets me going, you know? I guess
when people meet you, do they ever say, "Oh, you're smarter than I thought"? Things like that.
I think sometimes they think that, but they never say it. You know, I think sometimes they think that, but you know, like you know what a public persona is on stage, and then like a conversation are two different things.
Sure.
You know, like you're an amplified version of yourself to some degree up there, and you're an amplified version of your funny self up there. You know, like I don't. I think when it comes to my comedy, I tend to write from a emotional place, like something that makes me resonate with emotion, or is like a very clear feeling. Like
you truly
I try
feel it.
Like yeah, well, like in the new special, I have that line about like when my ex-girlfriend and I broke up. She said things that were so mean, I could tell she'd been thinking about them for a while. That was like a very real moment. You know, like, so like, that's the space I don't want to write just about her knowing that. And me knowing that about our relationship. But like, I want to write about the space of like, why would she stick around for this long if she was already thinking these horrible, like these mean things?
That's interesting.
You know, like, that's a place to think about writing from. And sometimes it's not funny, you know, like, and it doesn't turn into jokes. And sometimes it does.
And are you actually writing pen to paper or do you only work on stage?
I write to pen to paper. Really? I do both, but I write pen to paper. I always need a notebook because I won't remember. My memory is like kind of shit. So I won't, if I think of like, that's funny, like I need to put it down. And then like I try and get, you know, like a couple hours a week, you know, like anywhere between 2 and 6 typically to like dedicate it to like working stuff out on paper.
Really?
Yeah. And sometimes it's a lot more, here lately it's been feeling like a lot more like 2 because my energy's going to other things. But like, I think writing on stage is great if you can do it. But I think sometimes it is fucking extremely masturbatory. And like some people are up there just fucking pulling away. And it's like, I get it, man. Like that's how you write. But you're asking a lot of your audience right now to like sit in here and as you mine poorly through for jokes. Like that's not, people fucking get sitters. You know, like they do things. Like this is part of their evening. You have an obligation to them. You know, like they didn't pay $20 to see you not do this well. You know, like, and I like process is process, and we make things how we make them. Like, but I do think you ask a lot. You know, like if you're gonna do 15 minutes. And you don't have anything, just ideas, no jokes, just ideas that you're going to go on, I think 5 of those minutes should be like good material. Like, and then 10 minutes should be like you trying to be finding a place and energy, like for your new stuff. Cause you deserve that too, but and I also think it makes it better they're more willing to go with you in these spaces when you have 5 minutes of a good act up front. And then your next 10 is like you finding out the space of these new jokes and you're entitled to it, but I don't. Fucking, that's a lot, man. If you don't, you know, because you've seen it, like, and by the way, I have been guilty of this at times, like just dragging people through 15 minutes. that's fucking awful, you know? And then I'm like, they fucking sucked. And like, and you're like, you know, like maybe you're fucking like, how come I can't figure out how to lace my shoes bit the right way? It's not fucking brilliant. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. So you'll just write out ideas and kind of free flow.
Yeah, and like I used to do like word bubble like stuff too, like because like sometimes I'll like, for me it typically starts like, here's the idea, right? And it's in this bubble here. And then I'm like, and the idea is, for example, I'll just do it with a joke that I've never really gotten quite to work, but like, I had a joke for the first ever undercover cop. Like I thought it was a funny thing because they were probably very bad at it because no one had ever done it before. So you don't have a map on how to do this. So I would like, this is first undercover cop here, and then this, I'd have a little bow, like a little spider web, and just be like, well, who would they, like, how would you start this even? And, you know, I'd be like, and then you go, well, like, and it kind of like, and I would just kind of write all these webs out. And then eventually it got to a point where like, being the first undercover cop would be weird and strange. But the amount of betrayal the first criminal busted by the first undercover cop must have felt.
That's funny.
Yeah, like, so that's like how it goes in my head. But if I tried to do that on stage without having a clear delineation, I would be mining forever. You know,
just kind of quiet with some chuckles for 10 minutes.
Yeah, like, and so like, and the process is valuable. But that's like what, you know, like open mics for, bar shows are for. You know, like if I'm doing 15 minutes at the Cellar or any of the other clubs where I'm getting money in my hand at the end of the night, I owe them a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't nail it every time. I don't want to act like I'm some fucking, you know, I always walk a straight line, but that's what I think. Yeah, like, and it's like, and you should be like some people like write on stage and are maestros on stage.
Right.
Eddie Pepitone is maybe like the greatest person ever at that. Roy Scovel's brilliant at that. But can you imagine, like, as brilliant as Maria Bamford is, can you imagine her trying to just mine out a million jokes on stage without, like, without having prepped it in some way before?
Yeah.
That would be, what would you have to go through? You know, like, that's fucking nuts, man. Yeah,
it's interesting. And if you're doing like a legit show with like,
there's obligation, you know, like it's all,
you're at the Cellar on Saturday night.
And
like,
there's all these you know, there's different variables to all of it, but that's how. But I need to be in the book a little bit.
When did you get past the Cellar?
4 or 5 years ago now, probably. Yeah.
Do you remember auditioning?
Yeah.
How was it?
It's brutal.
Why?
Because I had to follow Greer. I had to follow Greer, man. I got my fucking ass kicked. Like, I got through it, but like, I mean, he did 15 minutes and like blew the top off. Because Greer can like, he's explosive. So it's, you know, he just went nuts and everyone's losing their fucking minds. And then I got to go up there with my kind of energy. It's a different shift.
So how do you feel? You're standing in there. Who vouched for you?
Sean Patton put me through. I did a pre-audition at New Jokes. And then Liz liked it. And she was like, hey, can you audition this night? And I was like, I'm gone, but I can do this night. Or it was like something like that. And then I was like, and I felt even weird about that at that moment, just being like, no, I can't do the night you're asking. Yeah. And she was like, it's cool, like try this night. And I was like, great. And then I walked up, talked to SD, and she was like, this is how you do, you'll go on after Greer. And I was like, for fuck's sake. And she go, but you know, they set you up. When I did it, it was Friday or Saturday night, I can't remember which, but it was 8 o'clock. You know, it was like a good spot, good show. They want you to fucking, you're getting the 5 minutes because, you know, like I want to say a jump through hoops is not the right way, but like Liz saw me and she was like, well, you can do 5 minutes, you know, and then SD, like she was just sitting back there watching. I could see her shadow. So it was like being scared in my room in the middle of the night. You know, like you have like dreams when you're a little kid, like so you'll just see like a shadowy figure. She's just sitting there, like, you know, this woman is, you know, like 5'5", but she looked like 10 feet tall to me in that moment. And she watched like half of it, and then like I saw her leave, and I was like, oh well. I kind of had this thing of like, if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Like I was like, I knew I was having a very good set in that moment, so I was like, if the bar is higher than this, it's like okay, if the bar is higher than this for me, it's okay. And then, but it wasn't, you know, she was like, you did great, you're passed, and that was it, you know. And then Todd Barry and Greg Stone, and I think somebody else came down and watched from the back of the room. So I think that kind of helped too, that she was like, oh, these seasoned guys are like Todd is, you know, is such a pro. I think it kind of helped her be like, well, you know, like somebody, Sean avouched, and like somebody had been like, okay, well, I want to watch him audition. You know, like I know they knew me a little bit. So that was, I think that kind of like, I don't know if that sways her opinion, but like, you know, it's better to have like veterans on your side wanting you to do well than not.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems scary.
Yeah. So where are you working in the city right now?
Like New York Comedy Club.
Yeah.
The most. Like in Brooklyn, like doing like Old Man Hustle.
Okay,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. That's a cool room. And then a lot of like independent shows like Sesh.
Yeah,
It's,
Sesh
like,
is great though.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like Sesh
so
is-
you're in all the right rooms right now, you feel like.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, like you just like, you're like, obviously you want to get the other ones on your roster. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cellar's the big one.
Yeah, it's that way for everyone, dog.
Yeah. But just that audition process just seems intimidating. It's very
It
interesting.
is, but it's also, it's not impossible, you know, and it's like, you have to take it like as seriously as an opportunity as it is. Like, you know, like I think some people will probably like go in there and get it who maybe don't prep as hard as other people and stuff. Like, that's not really fine by me, but it is like definitely a thing that happens, or, you know, like it's like some people are just like, I got it, you know, I'll be fine. And it's like, and some people do get it and some people don't, like,
Yeah.
but you just do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's your opportunity. Like, that's one of those things, like, it's big, you know, like it's the best club in the world, in my opinion. And it's the best place to do stand-up in a club setting, and maybe the best place in the world to do stand-up comedy. In my opinion, I think it is. So you go and you're like, I can't believe I'm here. There's pictures of Robin Williams everywhere, and, you know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But then you also like, it kind of helps me to be like, I'll look at a calendar and I'll be like, well, I'm definitely funnier than that person. You know, like I have to I nag my way into confidence. Yeah.
What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because it's 2024 and it's time to talk about something important. When you are seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. Yes, that's right. The world is a crazy place, and one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. And that's why I got to talk to you about Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and over 1,000 lawyers. Yes, these are the big boys. You know them, you see their billboards all over the world. If you ever drove down I-90 from Florida to New York, I'm telling you, you've seen the billboards, all right? Have you ever watched a UFC fight? You've seen them right on the banner. I'm telling you, these are the biggest guys in the game, all right? With over $20 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. The annoying thing with most attorneys is that in order to submit a claim, you got to call them up, you got to talk to their people, you got to go back and forth on emails, you got to hope that they see it. They might charge you just to even look at their claim. Here's the cool thing with Morgan & Morgan. With 8 clicks or less, you can submit a claim and one of their licensed attorneys will take a look at it and get back to you. It's that easy. It's like ordering something off Amazon. It's just a couple clicks. You can submit your claim very easily and cheap. Yeah, how about $0? That's how much it costs to submit a claim with Morgan & Morgan. Extremely easy, no fee required. So, if you are ever injured, you can go check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. That's right, unless they win for you. Unless they fight and get you compensation, you're not paying a single dollar. That's a pretty good deal. So, for more information, go to forthepeople.com/Gagnon. That's correct, forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or dial pound law, that's pound 529 from your cell phone. That's for the people, forthepeople.com/Gagnon, or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. This is a paid advertisement. Now let's get back to the show after this short disclaimer.
What's the most nervous you've been before a show, you think?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like, were you nervous before the special taping?
Not ready to do it. Not like more like you know, when you played sports and you're like, I have this energy, I need to get it out.
Yeah,
that was more at the special. That was more
that's
what
cool.
yeah. I did Bert's like arena tour, and we were in St. Louis, and Saifa was like, "What do you want me to say when I bring you up?" And I was like, "Oh, just tell him I'm Tom Segura." And he was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, do it." And but they got so loud, I was like, "This might have been a horrible mistake." Like, so that's probably like the most nervous I've been in a while. Like
Walking out to that roar.
Yeah, they were fucking
not
mad.
for you.
Yeah.
How'd the set go?
Pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I kind of like, I was like, I dug in on them and we kind of like pushed back and forth. You know, like they were like, some of them were genuinely upset because it was like 15,000 people or some shit.
Was Tom there?
No.
Oh, he wasn't even there.
No.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
So you literally just
Fuck 'em.
rope-a-dope.
Okay. What, I'm going to get in trouble? Like, like I wouldn't do it if I thought professionally it was going to like make everyone else's night worse or anything like that. But who gives a fuck?
What did Bert think?
I don't even know if he knows if I did it. Hilarious. I think Chad Daniels was like losing his mind. And like, it was fun to me to do that to people.
Yeah.
Cause like in my mind, I was like on that bill of all those people who are like, varying levels of fame. I was like, well, I got to do something to stick out, cause like I was getting earlier sets in the, like I was lower build, which whatever, that's a thing. So I was like, so when I was billed, like when I was going up like fourth one, and I was like, let's fucking like hit him in the mouth and see what happens. Like I have the opportunity here. There's enough people after me that this is going to get cleaned up no matter what. Like I'm not creating a turd for the rest of the show, and I'm not getting it off to a
It'll
bad
be
start.
fine. And worst case scenario, like, you have a bad set.
Yeah, and other people can somebody can go up and throw me under the bus if they need to. Yeah.
How was it being on the road with Bert? Was it fun?
It's the best, man. He's so sweet.
How'd you meet him in the first place?
We met in Seattle. He wasn't bringing out features yet, and he was like doing okay in his career for sure at this point, but he had not, blown up yet.
He was like still in clubs.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And we met once, and we hung out a little bit, and then we just happened to get paired up together again in St. Louis, and like we spent more of the weekend together, like hanging out and like drinking and talking about comedy and stuff, and then things were moving in the right direction for him, and we just kind of kept being friendly, and then like, it just went that way. It just it was pretty easy, and then he was doing, I think, his first Netflix special, and he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to open for me on my special?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd love to, man. Just tell me what you need." And then we just kind of kept going in that way. And that was probably 6 or 7 years ago now.
Were you with him in the clubs when he was doing the tip lottery for the waitstaff?
I've seen him do that.
That's such an awesome thing.
Yeah. Oh, he's the best. Yeah.
Can you explain how that works? Like,
from what I can't. I've seen him do it. So, but I haven't been with him a ton when he's done it. But I've seen somebody be like, it was kind of like match this. If I remember correctly, he was like being like, "I'm putting this much down, so match this money, you guys." And we'll give it to one staff member who's got like the right ticket number or whatever, and it would like make people's weekend,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, these people would walk out with more than rent, sometimes, so like I thought that was like, he's very good at eventizing things, for lack of a better word, and like I think
creates a spectacle.
Leanne told me that like he knows how to do that well.
Yeah,
it's one of his gifts. I'm like fucking, do not touch me. Yeah. Like
your wedding day is just in a courthouse.
It'll be. I really like weddings, so it might be a. If I get married, it'll be one of those wild. It'll probably be a big mess.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fire.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Jump in the lake with your clothes.
Yeah,
on.
I will do something a little. I'll be like, I don't want this to be boring.
Yeah.
But he did. I mean, we were Madison, and I think the waitress won like $4 or $5 grand or something like that, like something crazy,
Yeah,
like
it's wild.
And she was like crying on stage because she was like, I had like she'd had a horrible like couple weeks, you know, like so this was like a good thing. The like,
Wow.
yeah.
That's so cool. That's just such an awesome story. I remember hearing about that the first time.
It's valuable. It's valuable to like.
He's like, hey, we're gonna pass a tip jar around for the wait staff, and whatever you put in, I'll match it.
Yeah, somebody will like,
and we'll just give it to someone, and then like apparently I heard a story where he gave it to one person, and some guy in the audience was like, let's do another one, and so they gave it to like another like they gave it to like 3 different. Like servers,
that's awesome. Yeah,
and like gave them all like a couple grand. Like it was like crazy. And,
yeah,
like,
well, it's also
nuts.
like what you can do. You know, those people that gave that money are not going to miss it. Yeah, which is also like, and like it's what he's yielding like his celebrity with to do a good thing. You know, like and I remember like at one point, he was doing meet and greets, but he didn't want to like charge what a lot of people will charge for meet and greets because it can get pretty fucking pricey. You know, some people charge a lot, and he was like, "I'm just gonna charge them like $5 a ticket, and like whoever's numbers get pulled, he just will put it in his Instagram story, and be like, these are the numbers that are being pulled tonight for the meet and greet. And it would be like 20 or 30 people or something like that, and they would all, but all they would have to do is spend $5, and then he would donate the money to something.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
so, like it was like one of these things that like, but you could buy as many as you wanted, obviously.
Wow.
Like, but I remember thinking like, oh, that's like an easy way to do it. Like he's just like, I don't need to charge. I don't. I mean, I've heard upwards of people charging $150 to do meet and greets. Yeah, and like you get a handshake
and a picture, and,
and then
talk
go.
for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and,
if that. Yeah, and it's like, man, you're allowed to cash in how you want, but
feels a little weird.
It's a little bit much.
Yeah,
right?
that's one thing I always admire about Schultz. Like up until we got into like big venues, like he would do a picture for free with every person that came to the show.
I think that's the way you have to be.
Yeah, like he was doing 3 shows on a Saturday.
Yeah, and just
every show, like this next show would start a little late because he's like, I'm taking a picture with every person that came through.
Yeah,
like,
you have a fan forever with that shit.
Yeah,
you know,
like he was just so grateful. He's like, I came up so long trying, trying to make it work, and now the people are coming out. Like, who am I to not?
And you like
say hi?
Know they love that. You know, like, and it gives it's like, it is hard when you're having people like. The only thing I really don't like about that is because like I do take pictures with everyone that asks and like do shake hands with everyone. If I get anxiety if there are like 20 people in line and one person is talking to me so much that they can't like they're stalling the line out. It's sometimes to a point of being like, hey, I want to hear what you have to say, but I do not want to keep these other people waiting too long. So will you hang out for a minute or what? You know, like I try and do it because like I can't. You know, like you're obligated to give them the show and the time for sure that you're on stage. You're supposed to give them something great.
Yeah, that's what they paid for.
Yeah, and if you want to give them more than that, that's fine too. But like that is more on my terms of like I want to shake everyone's hands to talk to them. But if you think you're going to have like my ear for a half hour and like at the expense of other people's time, that's a little like that's where I get very hairy.
Yeah, like, that makes sense. I've seen that. People have done that to me a little bit. Yeah, and I always be like, hey, hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk. Like you can send me a DM.
Yeah, you got to just find a way to pull the parachute on them. Yeah, and then not that they're not dicks typically. Usually they maybe have a couple of drinks in them or something.
Excited.
Yeah, and it's like it is fine, but like you need to understand like everybody else is hanging out for the same reason you are.
Yeah,
you know. And I think with the way people meet us now through like podcast and socials and stuff, we do have this like kind of one-sided relationship with them where they listen to us a lot of you know, like.
So they know everything about you.
Yeah, and that's great. I don't like that's what I'm willing to share.
But you don't know them.
Yeah, and it's not even that I don't want to get to know them, but I do want them to know like they're not the only one who might have an expectation of me. And and it's not even that it's unreasonable, but it is.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It is like I got, I kind of like I want to feed everyone like as much as I can,
especially when you're on a tour like a Bert or something.
Yeah, and it's like, and my shows do well on the road. Like my own stuff does well, but that scale is fucking wild. Like like you look at what they have to do, and you're like fucking,
it's crazy.
What
was the hardest you laughed? You think being on tour with Bert?
Oh. That's a good question.
I'll also settle for just a funny story.
I don't. One time, like I'm a fucking pretty bad golfer. I'm getting better, but like we've gone golfing or to like Top Golf at a couple of different places, and it's like hysterical how bad I am. And like I remember the second time we went, I like went up to the bay to like, you know, like swing or whatever, and I just like was like, hold on, and I just like I knew Bert would have his camera out, and I was just like, because they know it's gonna be bad, you know, so like I kind of just had this, and he just like he couldn't stop laughing that I knew he was gonna do it, and so I remember that was very funny to me because I was like, oh, I am right, you know, yeah, like I know what's coming here, but that I enjoyed that a bit, yeah. But there's always like we lose it a lot, you know. Like it's always kind of happening. Well, you know those balance boards, like there'll be a flat board and there'll be like a ball underneath a sphere, yeah. And we were all working out, and it was like one of these balance boards that we were supposed to like do something on. They're like, yeah, you can't fall off of it. It's fine. And I fucking. Dude, I bit it so goddamn hard. The board like shot. Like, if someone had been in the way of this board, they would have been hurt.
It would have died.
Yeah, they would have been hurt very
Cut
bad.
in half, like a magic trick.
It shot out, and like I fucking landed on my hip like loud, like, and we were all like, we were like reading the board, like, yeah, it says you cannot fall off of this thing. Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah. And
did you feel it? Were you like, oh, I'm fucked up?
Yeah, and I just like had this fucking huge whelp on my fucking hip and everything. Yeah.
And no disrespect, but what made you think you were going to be able to balance on this thing? Like,
No disrespect.
Yeah.
No dis.
I know it sounds disrespectful.
Here's the thing.
But
It told me I wouldn't fall. You know, like
who told you that?
The board. It says it.
It's a sales tactic.
Yeah,
That's a
for
sales
sure.
tactic.
I mean, I know that now, but
lie
like,
to.
fuck me for taking something at its word.
I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, but like we all laughed, but it was like Bert, like he just like there's those moments. You know, they go a lot.
How many people is this in front of?
There were probably 5 of us, 6 of us. It's not so bad. You know, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a. But I those kind of things. I think. But yeah, like they all stick. I wonder what it is for him. You know, like are you like when you're with Schultz? Like, what's the most like? Do you guys like travel? You guys do a bus together or no?
No, never bus.
Yeah.
Never bus. It's always fly in, shows that weekend, fly back Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time. That is one thing that like Schultz.
But you
does-
guys will stay in the city typically.
Yeah. And then we'll find something to do depending. Like once the venues get really big, like the call time, we're getting there like 4. You know what I mean? Like there's not really much time in the day.
Yeah.
Like,
No. Like you're like.
We're waking up at 11 or 12, working out, going to eat, and then going to the venue by 4.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like there's not.
So because you guys are we're.
Yeah, you spend a lot of downtime in the tour bus, like
Yeah,
driving
well, like we
around.
also like end up at the venue, you know, like so it's
Right.
like
You just
you
sleep
wake
there.
up and like you know if you're doing the arenas, you're like they all have gyms for the most part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know that.
yeah,
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
like you'll work out there, or if they don't have a gym, if it's like an older place, like Bert's usually got some stuff underneath the bus, like a rowing machine and a couple other things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So we'll do
awesome.
that, and then like I box, so I'll bring like if I'm up before everyone, I try to like I'll find a gym locally. And
Are you
I'll
a
just,
good boxer?
I think I'm good for where I train and how I do. Like yeah, like but I'm not like.
Do you ever spar with your brother? Because he's
We
like
did.
he's an amateur boxer, right?
He was more of a brawl like that. Oh, in the bit, yeah. He did like MMA, mixed martial arts stuff, and amateur. I say amateur boxer because it's just an easier float.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done that in years. So like, and he lives in Texas, but like we definitely sparred when we were kids, you know. But now I spar. I train like if I'm home 4 or 5 days a week at the boxing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'll probably spar once or twice a month. Yeah.
You're sparring once or twice a month.
Yeah, about that.
So you're pretty nice.
I'm okay, but like I'm like also, but like you know, like to give it a very good, fair representation. It's like it's control. You know, like I'm not going in with some fucking meat eating like wily prospect. You know,
But you could beat up in a boxing match most comedians.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
I'm
Like,
just saying.
How many comedians do you think are as tough as they pretend to be? Thank you.
6.
Yeah.
I would say 6.
Out of the 90,000
Yeah,
we've
exactly.
had. Yeah,
Me and 5 others.
you and fight. Do you?
No, I've never been in a fight.
No.
I never saw the point in fighting. I was
Yeah.
like, this is a whole.
It's just a
thing.
place to put something. For
Yeah.
me, like that's where I get out. We were talking earlier, like about like my anger and stuff. That's where a lot of it. I go into a better. I can put that out physically there, you know,
Yeah.
and And even I don't even mean like sparring, but like if I just go like if I do a few miles on the treadmill or something like that, I'll be like, okay, that's like there's some relief from being mad because like I had to go through Chinatown on this like diverted train or whatever. Yeah.
Is there anything that's been annoying you this past like 2 days? Something you would think that you're like, you know what, I'm pissed off about this thing in the immediate.
I'm sure. Oh, I saw my ex-girlfriend with her new boyfriend at a show, which is fine. Like we are fine, you know.
At a show?
They're a comedian as well.
Oh, wow.
And they're funny. They're a good comic. But or ex whatever we were, you know. But it was kind of like one of these things. Like it was very fast and fun, and then it like dipped fast, so it seems a little not quite fully resolved, even though it's fine. So that was a little like I was on stage and I saw like her resting her head on his shoulder, and it was like
while you're on stage?
Yeah, which is fine. Like it's not like, you know, but it's like it's not
fine, but it's also like
it is nothing wrong, but it's one of those things that like it did ring in me. I was like, fuck. And I was like having a scale of 1 to 10, like 7, 5, 8 set, pretty good. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to be like, fuck, this should be a 10 right now. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And the second you get on stage, she jumps in your arms.
Yeah. Well, not even and then I drop her. I'm like, fuck you. You fall off. You're going to fall like I did off that goddamn board.
Yeah.
But I don't, so that like irked me. And then when she was leaving, it was obviously like a little bit of an awkward goodbye, like very cordial and fine.
Yeah.
But, I was like, all right, it was nice to see you. You know, like, and I gave her a spot on the show and everything. You know, like we were fine. But because like my buddy wasn't able to make it, like I had a special, my friend was in town where I was performing. I'm trying to give her some anonymity in this, so.
Sure.
And he was like, I can't make the guest in. I was like, it's totally fine. And then I went to her and I was like, do you want to do this spot instead? And she was like, that'd be really nice. And I was like, great. Yeah, you know, like, so it is fine. It is professional, but it was one of those things. And I saw her, I was like, man, this didn't like end the way I wanted, and I kind of like was irked by it a lot. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just trying to be the bigger person, and maybe not even bigger, but like do the right thing. Yeah. Like and
the
like
moral high ground.
Yeah, well, and to share it with them. You know what I mean? Like, because I think, you know, like if I'm being completely candid, I think she did a couple of things that I was like, well, that's not exactly what we agreed on. You know, like she found some wiggle room for herself, I guess, and that's okay. But it is one of those things like I did feel a little duped by her, you know? And so I'm like, it's okay. Like I don't have to be nice to everyone, but I'm going to be nice to this person and like, you know, kind of practice a little bit of doing things the right like even better than the right way. So
that's great.
Yeah,
I'm great practice, right?
Yeah, because there's also been times in my life where I have not done that.
Yeah,
and gone completely the other way.
It's like an old I forget what it is, like an old proverb, but like a grudge or anger is just holding onto a coal.
Yeah,
and it only burns you. The tighter you grip it.
Yeah, like and the best revenge is living well. You know, like is what people say.
Just dropping the coal, moving on.
Yeah, and then she was like, how you been? What's going on with you? And I was like, oh, good. I've been working a lot. She's like, anything new? And I told her like a couple of things. She was like, a little like, that's great. I didn't know that. That's great. I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. You know, like, and told her stuff that was true, but it was also nice for her to see. It was nice to see her happy and impressed by it. You know, So like, there's not, but that fucking irked me just looking back. I was like, this fucking tall fuck.
Handsome and
yeah.
shit.
He was a good looking guy too. I was like, yeah, God
damn.
Yeah.
Bet he's not funny like me.
No, who is?
Well, I hope you keep getting your heart broken because then you're going to keep on making great specials.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
just like the Blue-Eyed Mexican.
Yeah.
Which is out now on YouTube. It's very funny.
Thank you, on my channel and Bert's. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
This was, thanks, man. This was fun.
And this convo was great. I'd love to have you back.
I would love to be back. Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is like nice, dude. If I was drinking right now, I'd be all in it.
Oh yeah, we got some Bud Lights over there.
Do you
next
drink?
Time.
Are you
a little bit,
but
not too. Crazy.
You don't look like you drank like a lot of not like I did when I was 26.
I'll have like a night.
That's the best
once
fucking
a month.
That is the best way to do it.
I have a night once a month.
Yeah, that's the best way to like do it for a reason and not habitually.
The boys are in town.
Whatever
we're staying out till 5 a.m.
Yes,
and I'm sleeping all day the next day.
Yeah, giving your Sunday to Saturday night is okay in that occasion.
Exactly.
But
that's what I did. Last
I'm
night,
like, I was just like, it's Tuesday. Yeah, yeah. Like I got to get out the habitual drinking. Thanks for having me.
yeah,
man.
of course, bro. I appreciate you coming by.
My
Let's do it
hat
again.
matches your microphone.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You are so aesthetic in this place right now.
Yeah, I fit in.
We got to redo it now that you have the beanie on. Damn it.
This was fucking fun, man.